Hello guys, and welcome to another highlights video, and this one we're at Imola for TTML F1 round 3 of the season, and we've had 2 wins on the bounce already to start off our season. It's been pretty much perfect so far, but we're coming to round 3, which is a bit of a different format this time compared to how the first 2 rounds have gone. This is the first time we're doing a sprint race as well as the main feature race. So we have a 25% race and a 50% race, but that means we have one-shot qualifying instead of the traditional short qualifying. So as you see on our lap, 24.4 and set to 1. I've done a bit of practice beforehand, trying to aim for a 14 on the mediums, but we're 3 tenths down on set to 1, which is not really where we want to be. As we go through the middle sector, we sort of get a decent one, I'd say. We're only 3 tenths off where we want to be still as we go through the chicane, and coming down into the penultimate corner is a very tricky one, but go a little bit too wide. I really want to try and get as much on the inside curve as possible. I don't think we lost too much time though, but we come up to the line, and this is going to be P9 I think on the grid with a 15.5, about half second off where we wanted to be, but still a decent lap, just behind Black Box, who was the fastest on the mediums when doing the one shot. But we're coming up to the start of the sprint race, 16 lap sprint, and of course we chose the mediums because the alternate strategy around here seems to be the quickest strategy. So we went that way, but here come the lights for the sprint race, and we get away fairly okay for the mediums. Funky Chicken's going to get started, get alongside, and Connor gets a very poor start, and we're right in the middle of them both, and Funky Chicken having to cut across me because I think Lynx was on the outside of him, and a bit of chaos in the first lap. I hit Black Box as well. We somehow survived that, which was crazy. I thought I would be out of the running already, but we got very, very lucky there in that situation. But we're going to go on to the 3rd lap, and we're right behind TTG Noof, and we're absolutely pushing like mad to get through because, yeah, we're not so much the leading alternate strategy runner anymore. We need to try and get back to the front, but we got past Noof, tried to force our car up the inside, and now we're going to get past Zudema down the straight and try and catch up to Black Box. I felt I had the pace over Black Box. Really, just a poor qualifying performance for me. As we get through Zudema and we go to lap 5, and this is how early we had to pit for the softs to really make the alternate strategy work. And we come in to stick a fresh set of soft tyres on and hope we come out in the clean air so we could really make use of these tyres and get close to the guys who started on the softs and have gone to the medium for their second stint. But we come out, and Black Box was a second ahead of us when he pitted, and now he is right in front of us. So we actually gained on our in lap as we come up on Black Box, and it's quite an easy overtake when they don't have DRS in front of you, and we jump Bunty, who went late on the pit stop for the mediums. A couple of laps later, we're going to get Luca into turn 1. Another critical overtake, because just staying behind these guys for the lap is potentially going to lose you half a second to your other alternate strategy rivals. And my rival for this race is Tom Robbo, who is 1.6 seconds ahead. He is a position ahead of us on terms of overtaking, so we were slightly on the back foot. We had to get the pace on at the end, but we're coming up on lap 12 and behind Fleddy and Noah, and Noah's going to get the run on Fleddy. Fleddy don't have DRS, and we're going to get quite an easy overtake on Fleddy, and we're going to have to sit behind Noah for now. But Noah, he loses the back end of the car, and he's gone off into the gravel and hit the wall. But that was then. We'll come on to the final lap. We've caught up to Tom Robbo. This is our final chance to overtake. And we go on the outside into turn 1. Try and do as much as I can, but yeah, get tagged. And that was pretty much it for the sprint race. I feel, yeah, it was just a racing incident there. It was a pretty tricky corner to go side by side, but took the risk. And yeah, coming off the spin, forgot the tyres were hot and spun out there, which cost us probably another 4 places in the end. And we rejoined behind Noah down in 10th. Tyres are absolutely beating hot. We just have to get it to the line. And we've got the fastest lap in hand. So we're picking up a point for the fastest lap. It's 10 points for the sprint race win, 8 for second. And it carries on down to P7, but the fastest lap's for any position. And we're going to come in P8, which is not really what I wanted from that. We lost at least 8 points from that, maybe even 10. But luckily, we got a second chance in the feature race, so we'll go to that. So we're at the feature race, and we're going for the alternate strategy once again. Some guys going soft, some guys going mediums, of course. Everyone having a free choice for the race, just like the real F1 after the sprint races. But now we're on the grid. We're about to start the feature race. It took a little while after the form lap, but we're coming up to the lights now. 5 lights. Try and get the best start as possible on the inside this time, where we were on the outside the last start, but we get off the line, we get a fairly decent start, just about keeping the soft run of Luca behind. We're going to send it up the inside of the black box. The second race in a row on that one. We go side by side through turn 3 and 4, but this time no contact, luckily enough, and we remain P8 to start off as we go through sector 1, and there was a big crash behind. 2 Aston Martins are out, and it was a virtual safety car, but it turned into a full safety car just moments after. And being lap 1, I mean, I think there was more to gain out of the mediums and soft than just get thrown on a set of hards, so I stayed out. I think only 2 guys ahead pitted, but I think they might have been the soft runners. But we're going to get on the restart, and we're basically going to keep P6 at the moment. But Link's up ahead, he's weaving about, he does not have the temperature at all. And as we go through turn 2 and 3, and going through 4, there you go, he loses the back end, he had to catch it, and in the end he loses out time and a position to me. As we go on to lap 6, and there's a spin for Perpetuum there, and he'll be falling all the way to the back of the field, or at least the mid pack. But in that, we're going to get close to Fleddy, we're going to get a run on the inside of him. He has the outside, he's on the soft tyres as well, he's going to get the better exit than us. But we've got the inside for the next corner, which usually is the best as long as you're enough alongside, and he backs out. And we're going to take P3, tries to come up back up the outside for the next corner, but he couldn't stick it. As we go on to lap 9, and there goes Noof into the wall, losing it on the exit, and there is another full safety car. And that was a bit annoying because this was the perfect opportunity to pit for mediums to go to the end, and we couldn't straight away because we started on mediums, and we get disqualified if we went another set of mediums. So me and Tom both went to the hard tyres. We almost jumped Tom there. It was absolute millimeters there, but we've both gone to hard tyres and skip to the end of the next lap. We catch up to the safety car. We're going to lose out time doing this. We're going to lose out time in positions under the safety car, but I think it is the worth it call to go to the mediums and stay on those hards. I just don't like the hard tyres at all around here. Very, very slow race tyre, but they are good if you need to go long, but I don't think you have to go long with 21 race laps. So safety car coming in, and the leader gets away very early, and we're just going to try and pick off everyone one at a time here. And as Bunty straight away in, must have picked up damage under the safety car as Tom Robbo goes around the outside of Noah already, getting the move done early and tried to attack Isu. And we're going to get in the back of Noah and see if we could get close enough. We're going to stick up the inside. He backs off on the hard tyres and we move up to P12, and come up the next couple of laps we on the back of Isu. Tom's got past and we get a big moment of wheel spin out of there, but we get the run on him on the outside into the chicane, and we get bumped over the curb and we pick up a warning for that, and forces us to go wide a bit, but we got the move done. However, the expense of a warning which will come into play at the end of the race. But we're going to move on another couple of laps and we're on to G Chalkers now, and we're going to get through quite easily. He doesn't have DRS and he is not going to be able to defend that one, so we move up into 8th. Next up is Funky Chicken in the Alpine. It's going to be another fairly easy move. He's not actually defending too much. He has the DRS as well, so he could have, but he chose not to, and we're going to do the identical move on Zula the next lap. Funky Chicken's teammate, and we go up into P6 at that point, and we move on to lap 20. Everyone in the leaders group have all bunched up together, the top 6 all together now. You see Connor just ahead. I think he's disconnected at this point. He pulled away quite a bit on the softs, but he now been brought back down to earth. At this point we get the move on Fleddy into turn 1, and a few corners later we're going to get past Connor as he is about to helplessly tumble down the order here, but he did join back. I don't know how early he took control again, but it's going to be a push for him to get those softs to the end. As there you go, everyone going through as he falls down to I think P6, but we're going to move on another couple of laps. They go 3 wide into turn 1. Tom Robbo gets through Rudy, absolutely helpless there with no DRS, but as we go through turn 4, Tom loses the back end and he's out of the race. He spears back into the middle of the track. I don't know how there was no safety car, but in the end it gave us a few more opportunities to get past Luca and Rudy as Luca pulls into the pits, so it was a pretty easy overtake there. But we're going to try and get our teammate before the entry of turn 2, and we do just about. And as we exit turn 4 on lap 24, after I think 12 laps, we've gained positions from P13 all the way back up to P1 in the race. And on lap 25, Connor spins out the same place as Nufi, hits the other side of the track, and the safety car is out after a few collisions to bring it out, but it's come out with 6 laps left of the race. So we're going to come into the pits, brand new softs. Lucky enough everyone else comes in as well. I don't think anyone stayed out there, which it could have been a win, it could have been a loss there, but I think it was the only thing you could have done there to go for brand new softs. And there it is, the safety car up ahead, and we come to the end of lap 27 and we are preparing for the restart here. We need to get the best restart we can. We need to break DRS before the start of lap 30, because if they're in the DRS by the start of lap 30, then there's a potential they'll keep up. And this was just in case we picked up a penalty, because I know there's 2 warnings at this point. But we're going to zip on 1.5 laps. We've got 1.5 seconds to Fleddy. There was a penalty over point, and we're 2.5 seconds ahead of our teammate as we go for the chicane, run a flying lap for the fastest lap, and pick up a penalty, which forced us to really push these last 3 laps to get the gap to our teammate, because he could have been saving energy. He could be getting DRS off Fleddy quite easily. So we're just going to absolutely dump all the energy we have left as we go on to the final lap. Through the chicane we got 4.1 seconds over our teammate, so it's become pretty safe as we go into the penultimate corner now, and it was really sweet victory. This really big redemption for our mistake in the sprint race as we come across the line to win in Imola, our third race win in a row in TTML. And despite our sprint race error, we got a 34-point lead in the championship now, which is huge going to the next races. So to end this off, thank you guys for watching, and until the next highlights video, goodbye.